During your stay here, have you encountered anything strange?
Yes.
Hello,
Hello.
may I ask what's your name?
I'm Bailey.
Where do you come from?
I'm from Montana State in the US.
How long have you been in Taiwan?
I lived in Taiwan for nearly 5 years.
Why do you choose to come to Taiwan?
At first, I came to Taiwan as a gap year between my undergrad and graduate school. I just wanted to experience Asian life and make some money to pay off my loans. But after 1 year, I wasn't ready to leave, so stayed a little longer, and it turned into 5 years.
What was the maybe one or two motivations after 1 year why you decided to stay?
That 1 year was really challenging, but when I made it, I felt like I had a comfortable, established life. I was starting to make better friends, had everything that I needed that I didn't have when I first came here. So I just wanted to kind of savor that a little longer.
How do you make friends here in Taiwan?
Well, at first it was my roommates and their friends, and then there was an app called Meetup. I met some friends through the Meetup app.
Is that a dating app?
No, it's just an app to advertise activities and anyone can join.
What struck you first as special or unusual when you first arrived in Taiwan?
I was surprised by the architecture, to be honest. Yeah, I know it has a long history of a lot of Chinese building and Japanese even further back, so it's very different from the small town I'm from.
What part of Taiwanese culture do you find mostly interesting?
I think the idea of gift giving is an interesting part of the culture. In the US, we can give a gift and really not expect anything back. But it seems that in Taiwan, when you give a gift, the receiver is then feeling some pressure to need to return the favor.
What is one main cultural difference between Taiwan and the US?
The social differences are the most obvious. Like this idea of keeping your face when you're talking to somebody and not showing too much of your emotions, not showing too much of your life is pretty different than the US, where we're very open and expressive. And then also, I've noticed that some people I know from Taiwan have this duty to their family, and they feel that they need to sacrifice a lot for their family because their family sacrificed for them. And that's a bit different as well than the more like individualistic mindset in America.
How is it like living in Taiwan in general as a foreigner?
In general, it's really a great place to live as a foreigner. It's convenient. The people are helpful. If you're in the city, you don't need to know a ton of Chinese if you're slow to learning that. Especially if you're a native English speaker, you will always have a job. So it's a great place to live.
What is maybe a tip for a first-time visitor here in Taiwan?
Not easy to do, but I think the best advice is to try not to compare life here to life in your home country. I mean, it's like something we do so naturally, but it might take away from really enjoying everything Taiwan has to offer, having that fresh perspective to learn as much as you can about the culture.
What's your favorite Taiwanese food?
To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Taiwanese food, but I do love the desserts, and one of my favorites is called ice cream burrito, I think is the best translation. It's like ice cream, peanuts, and cilantro wrapped in kind of a egg roll thing. So good.
Oh, it sounds delicious. During your stay here, have you encountered anything strange?
Yes. I don't know what else to say. When you're coming from a Western country, a lot of things in Asia in general seem very strange. Some strange things I saw that I don't know how to explain in Taiwan is the mostly it's older women I see with this job of I don't know what they're doing or where they're going or why, but they push these carts full of bags. And I just saw it this morning, this little old lady pushing this huge cart of bags across a busy street. And I just have to stare because I have so many questions about that.
If
That's
anyone, viewers, anyone knows the answer to that, please leave a comment in
Yeah,
the
let me
description
know.
below. Can you speak Chinese?
我会说一点点中文，我中文不太好。
How do you learn to speak Chinese?
Well, living here for 5 years, I picked some up naturally. But I also studied for maybe 3 months on and off, and that was really helpful.
Could you give us maybe one or two cultural difference in dating Taiwan compared to your country?
So something that was pretty hard for me was when my previous boyfriend and I first started dating. His mom didn't want to meet me for about a year and a half after we were dating because in her family they didn't introduce each other to their parents until they were ready to get married. So that was hard for me to accept and understand that it wasn't a problem with me, it was just how they want to do things. And then also just the communication was also difficult with his parents.
By the way, are you single?
I guess I am.
Okay, and what's your type?
What's my type?
Yes.
Okay, I like guys who treat people nicely, even people they don't know, and are considerate. Yeah, that
Okay.
gets me.
All right. Bailey's Instagram account will be in the description below. If any guy who is out there who is humorous and can treat people nice, then check her out.
Oh yeah, humor. Didn't get that
Yeah.
one.
So what do you do here in Taiwan?
I teach English and I also make some videos for adult China Chinese
Okay.
learners.
Could you maybe give us one or two differences in education to Taiwan compared to the US?
When working with a local teacher, their discipline methods are very different and they prefer discipline over reward, I found. Also, just in general, students study a lot more and are more focused on school, whereas in the US, they have school kind of equal to their sports and music and extracurriculars.
What do you have in the US that you miss not having here in Taiwan?
Of course, the first thing that comes to mind is my family, my pets, my car. If they could be here, that would help a lot.
What is one thing that people do in America that is different from how people do here in Taiwan?
Well, where I live, there's not as much public transportation. I would say that's a huge plus of living in Taiwan for me, or in Taipei at least.
You said you were gonna leave Taiwan shortly.
Yes.
Why you don't want to stay longer than 5 years?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was just the loneliness that I experienced in my first couple years. It took a while to find my really solid group of friends who I felt like I connected with on a deeper level than just the more surface, like doing the same activities together kind of friends. And then the communication obviously is a huge barrier for me. I realized that teaching is not my dream and I want to pursue my dream of mental health counseling, and there are no English programs here, so I've decided to go back to school in the US.
If there is one thing you could change here in Taiwan, what would it be?
If there was one thing I could change, it would be the humidity. I've never been able to, in my 5 years, adapt to the humidity in Taiwan.
Do you have anything else to tell Taiwanese people?
If you haven't left Taiwan, I encourage you to also go out and explore other countries, try living in another country, learn about other cultures, and yeah, open your mind, learn what you like. Life is too short not to, and there's so much to experience. That's my advice.
All right, thank you very much and welcome to Taiwan.
Thank you.
Oh,